channel has always been about value for you, body recomposition, getting you into the best shape, dropping body fat, building muscle through the mindsets that we give out on the Gorilla Platoon, which is why I think makes us different to all the other fitness channels out there that you see online, specifically the mindset stuff and how we got the results and what we have so far. But I appreciate I don't really speak about myself much on this channel, and not enough for you to know that much in detail about me. So I thought it'd be worthy of me sharing just my story of where I am so far and how we got to where we are today, so you can understand the journey, see if you like and can relate to my situation. Then if you want to be part of the channel and later maybe the Gorilla Platoon, then that'd be nice and that'd be cool. So I thought we'll roll straight in with this. So going back to 2013, when I was 17, well, specifically in 2012, I joined the army at the age of 16. Went to AFC Harrogate, which is like an army foundation college. Then went to the man's army in 2013 and to join the British Parachute Regiment. At the time, when just leaving school at the age of 15, my friend was like, "What are you gonna do when you leave school?" And I was like, I'm not really the smartest guy, to tell you the truth, not really the most academic, never enough to get into college. And lo and behold, that was actually a blessing for me. So if any of you can't get into college right now because you ain't got the brains for it, maybe actually your superpower later on down the line. Because if I'd had gone to college, not there's anything wrong with this story I'm going to say, it wouldn't have been for me. Go to college, do that shit, get in further education, go to uni, maybe become a PE teacher. That was all I really thought of at the time, because I really know that was like interested in me. That wouldn't really have led me to as much fulfillment as what I have today. So I'm very grateful for the way things panned out. So he said, have you heard of the paras? They're the fittest, the hardest to get into within the British Army. And they're a challenge to get into. And I was like, well, I like fitness. And for the longest of time, my mum's had me fucking doing block jobs anyway. Since a very, very young age, I've been like pegging washing out on the line, having to drag this heavy metal chair so I could reach it. So discipline and jobs and block jobs and fitness is not really an issue for me. So I thought, actually, yeah, this would be quite a good thing for me to go into. I think it'd be somewhat fun, it'd be challenging. And lo and behold, stepped into that. It was probably one of the best decisions I ever made. Went through the basic training, passed P company, got to the unit, and then learned how to jump out of planes. So, cool. From a young age, been like brainwashed by these literal killers being like, we are the best of the best. We are the British Parachute Regiment. We are the elite of the elite. Fuck everyone else. Everyone else is weak. We're the fittest. This, that, and the other. And while it looks like a cult-like group, it's actually really great to be a part of at such a young, impressionable age, because it raised my standard for a lot of things in life, being like, no, you're part of the British Parachute Regiment. So the way you do one thing is the way you do everything, and you must have the highest of standards for like all other areas of your life. So them breeding into me a little bit of arrogance from a young age was actually not a bad thing, because it meant I then would do things to a higher standard. It made me quite confident. So that was nice at such a young age of like 18, 19, 20. Then in 2017, I went back to the same area where I'd been trained to train civilians to become paratroopers. So this is where I started to find my love for fitness. When I was going through, I saw these guys in these blue specific t-shirts with this badge, red belts, and obviously the combats. And I was like, these guys train the guys to get fit enough to join the paras. I was like, that's cool as fuck. So 4 years later, I'm about 21 at the time, I then go up there to do that exact job. And it was probably one of the best jobs I've ever done in my army career, because it's like you've got your group of people, you're responsible for getting them fit enough to pass the test and to go and join the British Parachute Regiment. And it's like the toughest test inside the British Army, outside like any special forces. So a very high, respectable test. And that's where I really started to love and understand my passion for fitness. And this is where probably like it's really started to tickle my fancy in terms of like this fitness and like developing people through mindset and training is where it was going to take my life from then on. So then I had another opportunity, and this is where my like hunger and need to skirt around the world really came from. Is I was sent to Sierra Leone in West Africa to train their army and specifically develop a full-on like PT wing where they could be self-sustaining to train their own soldiers and get them fit. So that was my mission, to basically create versions of me but inside the Sierra Leone Armed Forces. There for 4 months, got a decent like award from it from the military, which was cool, and that hangs on my wall. And it was one of the most fulfilling things I ever did, just grow something from the ground up and see it flourish, and it to be in the thing I would liked, which was fitness. So I always understood that. I think later on in life, now I run the Gorilla Platoon, I always thought there'd be something like that I would run later on. I just didn't know what it was in at the time, because I was still finding my way with life, still at this age, again, still 21 years old. But I realised fitness was the way I wanted to go down, and the Army has its own Royal Army Physical Training Corps. And I was like, you know what, that'll be a challenge. I'll go for that. So at the age of 24, I then trialled to get into there. We did like a week-long test, passed that. Then you do a 9-month course, passed that. And then I was in charge of essentially developing fitness within the British Army, which was nice. And again, another thing we'd achieved. So I'd actually left the paras at this point. So we can see now my life is starting to take shape in terms of military fitness, and that was the way it was going so far. Did that for around 2 years, 18 months, and I actually made the decision to solely leave the British Army, where I then left after 10 years and went to Dubai to personal train with this company here, Ultimate Performance. Again, a very, very well-respected company within the field of personal training, specifically like body recomposition. Now, why I did this was I always had, two things. A burning desire for learning the body, developing your physique, and growing more muscle and really transforming your physique. And when I saw their before and afters, I was like, these are the people I need to be around. And the way they carried themselves, they almost ran their company, their gym, like the Army did. And they have gyms all around the world. You may have heard of them if you're into fitness. But why Dubai is because I wanted to ultimately just travel the world at that point. It had been 2022. Obviously, we know what happened in 2020 and 2021. So I was itching to just move out and travel around the world, which was really ignited when I went to Sierra Leone for the first time and had been there. So I always understood two things. I want to move around the world and I want to develop people in fitness. That is the thing. But then specifically, it then moved from military-style PT running with kit on, although I like that, and going up mountains and stuff is great. We did Kilimanjaro at some point in 2019. I realised body recomposition is the thing I prefer more, because it's the thing I always struggled with. So if I can get good at it myself and then help other people, that'd be quite fulfilling for me. So then from there, I understood what it truly took to get in shape, did a photo shoot myself, and got myself into the best shape of my life through their assistance. Then in 2023, I actually finished there after a year because an opportunity came up to go do a contract in the Middle East, now back with the military, not specifically the British Army, obviously like contracting work, but it was specifically training military within the Middle East with ex-serving military from the British Army. So I went and did that because, again, I always had this burning desire to help military people. And as I was there at the time, I then had this skill of how to get people in good shape. I'd been at that gym for a year. I'd been able to do it with more challenging caliber of individuals, we'll say, than what military personnel were, just because of these people were like busy professionals. They could only train 3 times a week. They for years had so many levels of bad practice, so they were more challenging to get results from. But when I was on this contract, it was 4 months, and I was around these military people, I realised, a lot of these guys are in all right nick, but they could be in very, very good nick because they understand about training and stuff. They just need the right pattern and formula put on top of this. So I started coaching, specifically the 2 guys in the photo, actually. I started doing them for free, aiming to get them in great condition, and then people saw that. And then before I had 10 people there, and I was just doing them for free at the time, just with the aim of just getting some good results. But that's how it put together. I was like, this is actually what I really want to do full time. I was like, I've got the people I like from the 10 years I've done in the military. I've got this skill I've specifically been and learned. And again, when I was in Dubai, it was kind of a bit of a hit to the ego, because I'd just come from the military where I'd rose up the ranks quite quickly. I was like a sergeant after 10 years. I was living a comfortable life. If you want to, and I always did, always kept my expenses very low, stayed in their accommodation, so you can live pretty cheap, you can stack some good money, and it's pretty darn comfortable, to tell you the truth. Then to sack all that off, to go to Dubai of all places and to be on pretty low money around ballers, it was an absolute hit to the ego, but one that was necessary, because I wasn't there for money, I wasn't there for fame or anything like that. I was there for one reason: to learn how to get people in elite level condition. That was the only focus. So I found passion, I found love in doing that. I really just stayed away from the hype of Dubai. So when people say, oh, Dubai, it's soulless, it's this, that, and the other, I didn't really see that much of it, because it wasn't really, I was there for one reason: it was to get in shape. And any place is what you make it, and the people that you're around. So anyway, it was a bit of a hit to the ego. But then as I started to train these people, I was like, this is what I really want to do. These are the people I want to help. This is the how I know how to. I was like, this is fucking class. This is what we know we're going to do. But that didn't just come overnight. I didn't just think of this idea off the cuff and decide something. This is 10 years in the military, building solid foundations and relationships with people that I could then say, listen, mate, this is what I can do. And I got my brother in shape at the time, so I had a before and after to show people. I was like, look, this is what I can do. Do you want to do it? And I did it for free. And I was happy to work free because they were my people. And all I really wanted to get was some good quality results. A, so I could show the world that I knew what I was talking about. And B, just so I could help my people. So from there, I put the two together, and this is stacked on 10 years in the military, a year's worth of learning that, and then also taking the risk to go to that country. So we took the risk of leaving the military to go to the gym in Dubai. Then we took the risk of leaving the gym in Dubai to go do the contract for 4 months, and then knowing there was nothing else off the back of that, which then led me to deciding to go to Mexico. I'd been on holiday there once before and realised this was a cool place, a very, very cool place. And I was like, where do I want to go all in on helping my people with the thing I'm good at? And this is just the place I chose with Mexico. So we went there and went all in. We were filming, I've filmed a YouTube video every day since the day I left there, 29th of Jan last year. We've done a video every day ever since. And just went all in, like all in on the results for the guys until the results came, which they did. And if you look at the Instagram page for the Guerrilla Platoon, or you just even look at this channel, we've always spoke about the results online of how we got them there. And the results came because when you go all in on something, with the thing you're good at and you actually care about, with the people you truly want to help, the results will come because your passion, your desire, your ambition, and most importantly, the momentum you start to build will carry you through. I always talk about your life will come in seasons. And the beautiful thing about doing life in seasons rather than trying to move the needle of every single element of your life up is you get momentum. And when you get momentum, that's what truly pushes you through to the next layer and to the goal. Whereas when you constantly try and improve every individual area of your life, you lose the momentum because you'll get to a certain bit, you'll have to stop it, try to the next thing, because you've only got so much bandwidth and energy within a given day. So it won't last that long. You want to be able to just put everything in and gain momentum. And eventually the results came. And then from there, in 2025, like I understand, like I've got a purposeful life, and it's very, very clear, and it's nice. Now the goal is it's again just more of the same, really. Help our people, get amazing results, get as many results as possible for people around the world, and instill the Guerrilla Platoon mindset that we speak about, which, to be fair, is born on the back of this. This has always been my phone lock screen, which you may have seen it, you may not have. This is the consciousness chart. And you can't see all of them at the bottom. You've got like guilt, shame, apathy, fear, desire down at the bottom, and you want to be away from those because they're contracted states. So when I took each risk, I was always looking at this chart thinking, do it for a place of love, do it for a place of reason, do it for a place of joy and peace, because you'll do it then from an expanded state. So like this is why when I was doing people for free, and I took a risk and gone to Mexico, it was all just from a place of love and just trying to do something for people, just put good into the world, and then good will come back to you. And lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. But why I wanted to share this like whole story with you is like, you'll be sat on a load of potential that you don't know you're like that you're not tapping into. You are you for a reason, and I'm me for a reason. So like I've got my interests and like my character. I am a geezer that's been in the military, and my interest is body recomposition and specifically the mindset stuff that goes behind it. So I get to put my mindsets from the military and like that's developed me and shaped me. The vehicle I get to do that in is physique development, and the people I get to do that for are, to be honest, it started off military. Now we're probably on about like 65% of the guys in the military. The other 35 are not, because obviously when we put videos out on YouTube, all across the world, guys come and they're not all military, obviously. But the point I'm making is, you'll have your version of that. You'll have something you like, people you care about, and you'll be able to help them in some way. And when you put those two together, you will wake up in the morning with your fucking dick so hard, you'll be ready to get to work for this shit. Because you'll be like, this is cool. This is why I'm on this earth. I'm not on. A lot of people are happy to make money in like a soulless way, or to be honest though, like I don't hate on people for doing that, but I just know how fun it is and how much easier it is to work like and film fucking 6 videos on a Sunday when you're on holiday with your family, or like stay up really late at night and work all day. When you're doing this for something bigger, like obviously I'll do it to get paid. I need to eat, fucking hell, I've got my 1 gram per pound body weight of protein target to hit, for goodness sake. But I do this because it's just so purposeful and so fun. Nothing gets me more excited than seeing a before and after at the end, knowing that we've helped someone get in great condition. Like nothing makes me more excited than that. So I don't mind waking up early. Like last year, we had a guy that done a photo shoot, and because I was in Mexico and he was in England, I was having to get up at like ridiculous time in the morning to look at his condition and say whether we need to change anything. But I don't mind doing that when it's something I care about for people that I care about. And you'll have that thing for you. So I wanted to share my story. I wanted to share like always a little lesson behind there. Find that thing for you, because time's short, and before you know it, you're going to die. No one's going to give a fuck that you ever lived. And like, you may as well just do the thing that you like anyway, because there is no purpose of life other than, I think, just to enjoy each and every day and be happy each and every day. And every day is different. So like, yesterday's wins are not today's wins. Yesterday's losses are not today's losses. Like, turn up every day, start the new day every day, and just try and be a good version of you each and every day. So that's my story. That's where we are today. That's why I do it, and hopefully a little lesson behind it. So if you found this video of value and you like it, great, subscribe to the channel. And as you can see, we video every day, so I'll see you tomorrow.